Mm. Okay. So in the last class, we have done the discussion on your QA, where we have done some of the important topics which are important for your examination. Now in today's class, we'll be having discussion on the topics that we need to prepare in the mental ability and reasoning part. So already we have done all the detailed discussion on the quantitative aptitude. We have covered in the last class your number system, mensuration, and then after that your speed, distance, and time, and then after that your percentage. And what kind of question we can expect in the exam? We have also covered that. Now in today's class, we'll be having discussion on the your mental ability and the mental reasoning part. Now these are those type of questions. If you know the concept, you will be able to get the answer within seconds. And logical reasoning, like there are some students who who are scared of the calculation. So if you don't want to, if you want to avoid the calculation, so if you are going to talk about the reasoning or the mental ability, here in these kind of question you will find the minimum use of calculation. That means not much calculation is involved in this part. So this is all these things you have already covered in the just a second. All these things you guys have already done in the 51-day course. Now in today's class, we are going to discuss all these concepts that are given in the okay. So in today's class, we'll be talking about your 3D object, 2D object, folding and unfolding, counting of blocks, counting of figures. All of that we will be covering in today's class. And this is all being covered in the 51-day course. This is just going to be a quick revision of all these concepts. So now when I'm talking about these subjects, these topics which are important for this examination, they are going to be your clock. And then after that, the second chapter that will cover is going to be your counting of figures. Then after that, what concept we'll be talking about? They are going to be your mirror image and water image. And then after that, your cutting, folding, and rotation, all of that. Cutting, folding, and rotation. And then after that, if I'm going to talk about the third chapter that we need to do is going to be your cubes. And then after that, dice. And then some miscellaneous chapters are there, which are like coding and decoding. Then after that, your sequence and series, coding and decoding, sequence and series, right? Mathematical reasoning. So these are some miscellaneous topics that we'll be covering. Now, for your examination, what are the important topics that we'll be doing? Is going to be your clock, and this is something which is really important because each and every year, at least we are getting question from the counting of figures or mirror, motor image, cutting, folding, rotation. This is the part of your special aptitude. Special aptitude. That is your visual reasoning. So first of all, I am going to talk about your counting of figures. Then after that, we'll be talking about mirror image and motor image, and then how to solve questions that are based on your cutting, folding, and rotation. So first we'll be talking about these two, and then after that we'll be talking about clock. Then after that, this and this. This is going to be the flow chart that we are going to follow. In case you guys will be having any doubts, you can let me know in the chat box, and we can discuss on that. I will be doing all these things in a very speedy manner because we are having less time to revise all these concepts. So if in case you will be having any doubt, you can let me know. Now this first chapter is counting of figures. Now in counting of figures, what are the things that we need to understand? In counting of figures, there are total four types of things that we'll be talking about. The first is going to be a counting of a straight line in a given figure. Then after that, the second thing is going to be counting of triangles in a given figure. And then after that, your third thing will be counting of squares. And then after that, the fourth thing will be counting of rectangles. So these are the four things that we are going to talk about in the first part, that is your counting of figures. Now we are not going to manually count all these figures. There are certain tricks that will be understanding and use in order to get the answer. Right. So first of all, I am going to start with the counting of straight lines. Now this is something which is very basic, which will hardly take 2 or 3 minutes. Now suppose a complicated figure is given. The complicated figure is looking like this. For an example, now suppose if I say how many straight lines are there in this given figure. For an example, there is no such gap, or else if the gap exists. Now, if you are getting figure like these, and question reads that we need to find out how many straight lines are there. So if we are going to count it like this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it can confuse us. So what is one thing that we need to keep in mind whenever we are counting these straight lines? What we'll be doing? We will divide these lines into three parts. The one is going to be our horizontal lines. We will denote it by H, horizontal lines. Then after that, the second we count the vertical lines. And then after that, we will count the slant lines. Right? So if we are going to count it differently, horizontal lines, then after that vertical line, then after that slant lines, it will be very easy for us to get the answer. Now in this case, now if I'm going to talk about how many horizontal lines are there. So counting these lines are very easy. Now this is one horizontal line. Then after that, this is two. From this place to this is one, this is two, and this is 3. Is there any other horizontal line? The answer is no. That means how many horizontal lines are there in this figure? So answer is 3. How many vertical lines are there? So how many lines are there? 1. This 2 is there. Is there any other line? Now for example, I am drawing this one more line. Now 1, 2 and 3. Only 3 vertical lines are there. Only 3 vertical lines are there. Now in this case, if we are going to count how many slant lines are there. So this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is what? This is 4. So total these slant lines 4 are there, and then after that these 1 and 2. So plus 2. So these are what? These are the total number of lines that we can count in a given figure. So this is the first part of the counting of figures. In case, like it's very rare that we get question from this part, but still, if we are going to complete the concept, this is something we need to keep in mind. If we are going to count a straight line, what strategy we can follow? We can count first the horizontal lines, then vertical lines, then after the slant lines. So this is about the counting of straight lines. Counting of straight lines. Now after that, this second part is that we will quickly summarize all these things. Don't worry about it. Now the second part is counting of triangles. Now for an example. Now if I'm talking about, can you guys let me know how many triangles are there in this given figure? Do let me know in the chat box. Kiran, Rahul, Ashish, Sobita. How many triangles are there? Three are there, right? We know that how many triangles are there. It's very easy to count how many are there. Now, in case I am going to give you a figure like this. Now, can you guys tell me how many triangles are there? Or for an example, if I am going to only draw two lines, for an example. Now, if I am taking this example only. Now, if I am talking about how many straight lines are there in this figure. Now, can you guys tell me how many, not a straight line, how many triangles are there? How many triangles are there? Six. Some of you are getting the right answer. Now, for an example, this is the one type. This is the second type. Now, if I'm going to give a more complicated figure. Now, can you guys tell me how many triangles are there? Now we know that it can confuse us, but there is a symmetry in all these type of triangles. So what is the trick to count number of triangles in such a case? Now we are going to talk about that. Now, whenever figure like these are given, we can here count them manually. Like this is one triangle, this is the another triangle, this is this bigger one triangle. So total three triangles are there. Count one and two. Just add it, you'll be getting what? Three. How many triangles are there? Three are there. Here also 1, 2, 3. Add all these numbers. How many triangles are there? 6. Here also we can do the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you're gonna add it, you're gonna get 10. That means how many triangles are possible? 10 triangles are possible. So we are not going to count it manually in the exam. If you are aware of these things, you will be easily, no matter how many lines are being given, you will just write numbers like this and you will add it and you'll be getting the answer in the exam. Right? So this is the first part. Now suppose, for an example, any of the figure can be given. Now, no matter how many parts it is divided into, how many triangles are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simply count it and add it, you'll be getting answer 15. How many triangles are there? 15 are there. Now, for an example, it is divided into two parts. Now, can you guys tell me how many triangles are there? 30. 30, correct, correct. Now try to understand for a second. Forget about this line. How many triangles are there? We know that 15. Because of this line, here also you'll be finding 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many triangles are there? 15 here. So 15 and 15, total 30 triangles. Right? Now, no matter how many parts it is divided into, sometimes you'll be getting a figure like this. How many triangles are there? How many triangles are there? So it's very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here you'll be getting 21. 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 21 into 484. Right? So that is how we count in the exam. Is it 105? Yeah, it is going to be 105 now. From this point, 21. This also 21. This also 21. This also 21. This also 21. Correct. 105. Total number of triangles that are because of this line. How many are there? 21. Because of this line. How many are there? 21. Because of this, 21. Because of this, 21. Because of this, 21. The total 5 are there. 105. 105 will be the correct answer. So now that is how there is a symmetry in these type of triangles, right? So this is one example. Now let's talk about the other case. I hope this is clear. Now let's take the another example. Now suppose figure like this is given. And now I'm asking about how many triangles are there in this given figure. Now what will be the answer? Eight are there. How many triangles are there? Eight, right? Eight triangles are there. How are we going to count that? Here in this case. Now you know that triangle number one, triangle number two, triangle number three, triangle number four. So total four individual triangles are there. And then after that, if you're going to look into it, you know that when you are taking this as base, this is one triangle, triangle number 5. Then after that, taking this as a base, this triangle, triangle number 6. Then you are taking it as a base, and this is one triangle, this is another triangle. So total how many triangles are there? 8 triangles are there. We can simply count it in figure like this. Now suppose what happens is when you are getting a figure like this, now how many triangles are there? Now we understand that in these kind of figures, we may get confused, right? So what we can do in these kind of cases? How we are going to count it? Now, first of all, let's apply the logic here. In this case, now here, how many triangles are there? How we count that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in all these cases, in all these type of triangles, what we'll be doing is we will find how many parts it is divided into. So we find that 1, 2, 3, 4. It is divided into 4 parts. And this is divided into 4 parts multiplied by number of diagonals will be giving you the answer. So here it is divided into 4 parts. How many diagonals are there? 2. So the answer is going to be what? Answer is going to be 8. Here also we can apply the same logic. How many parts it is divided to? 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is what? 5, 6, 7, 8. So it is divided into 8 parts multiplied by number of diagonals. 16 is going to be the answer. So manual counting we can do in some sort of exceptional question, but these are the logics that will be applying in each and every question. Right? 16 will be the answer. So this is another type. This is type 2 in counting of triangles. Type 2. That previous one was type 1. Right? This is what? Type 1. Let's talk about type 3. But you can make a note of it, or is this class will be uploaded on the YouTube also? You can take the revision of the same. It will be available on the app also. Now, let's take the another example. Now, for an example, there is one triangle, and now a figure like this is given. How many triangles are there? And let's take the another example. This is a triangle that is given like this, and here in this case, we'll make it on the other page. First, let me know how many triangles are there in this case. Five are there? Okay, 5 are there. Now, how many triangles are there? Type 3. How many triangles are there? We are saying 5. How many triangles are there in this case? Now let's take another example like this. We will make this figure on the other page. Now let's try to understand the concept here. Now in the first case, how many triangles are there? 5. In this case, you guys are saying 13 are there. Now how to count triangles in this case? We will count here. See, we will be counting only those triangles here which are having base on this line. So this is going to be a triangle number 1. This is going to be a triangle number 2. Right? Try to understand the concept. This is something which is a little bit technical. Now here, how to count number of triangles? We will count it as 1. We will count it, we will not count it 2. We will count it as 1 plus 2. Now once we are gonna do that, we will be counting number of triangles here in this case. First of all, we have counted it as 1. First triangle, 1. The second triangle will be counted as 1 plus 2. Then after that, once we do that, we will start counting from the end in the alternate manner. So we will start counting from the end. Now here, these two cases are given. This is 1, this is 2. Now, once I'm going to start from the end, I'm not going to count it. I will count this number. So this 1 will be there. And once you're going to add it, 1 plus 4 plus 1. What will be getting? 2, 1, 3, 3 and 1, 4 and 1, 5. 5 is the answer. Now try to understand this similar concept here. Now here 1, it will be 2, it will be 3. Now I am going to count 1 as 1. But 2 will be counted as 1 plus 2. And this 3 will be counted as 1 plus 2 plus 3. Now we will start the counting from the end in the alternate manner. So this will not be counted, this will be counted. Right? 1 plus 2. And then after that, this will not be counted. If there would have been any number, that would have been counted. So how we are going to count it? This will be 1, this will be 3, this will be what? 6, and then after that, this will be 3 again. So 3 plus 3, 6 and 6, 9 and 1, 10. Total 10 are there. Total 10 triangles are there. Right? Total number of triangles that are there are going to be 10. So this is how we count when you are getting a figure like this. So this figure I'm not able to draw it. It can be made more complicated. Now this is a triangle. Right? Again, this figure is completely, isn't it 13? The previous one is 13. First, let me check it again. See, we have counted is 1, 2, and 3, right? So how we will be counting? We may have made a mistake in the calculation, otherwise this logic is correct. 1 will be counted as 1 only, 2 will be counted as 1 plus 2, then 3 will be counted as 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then after that we will start counting from the, this will not be counted, this will be counted, 1 plus 2. So what is this number? 1, then 3, and then after that 3 to 6, 3 to 5 and 1 6, plus 3, 3 and 3 6, and 6 12, and 1 13. Okay, we have made a counting mistake, I think, in the previous one. 6 and 6 will be what? 12 and 1 13. Yeah, 13 will be the correct answer, not 10. 6 and 6, I think I have done 6 and 6, 9. 6 and 6 will be 12, and then that's how we are getting this. Right? 13 will be the right answer. Now, here in this case, this will be counted as 1, this will be counted as 2, this will be counted as 3, this will be counted as 4. So, 1 will be counted as 1 only. 1 will be counted as 1 only. 2 will be counted as 1 plus 2. 3 will be counted as 1 plus 2 plus 3. Then after that 4 will be counted as 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Then once you want to do all of that, now we will start the counting from the first number will not be counted, this will be counted, this number will not be counted, this counted. So again I'm going to write those numbers which are being counted here. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 1. No, this is what? This is the alternate counting. 1, 1 plus 2, 1 plus 2 plus 3, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4. Then counting from the in the alternate manner from the last. 1, 3. Then after that, 3 and 3, 6. Then after that, this 10 is there. Then after that, this 6 is there. And then after that, 1 is there. You can add it and you can get the answer. This is another type in case of a triangle. Now, what can be the other examples of the set? Try to understand that. I will try as much as possible for my side. Now, for an example, I hope that concept is clear now. Now, here, this was an example that we have done. Now, suppose some identical figure like these are given. Now, can you guys tell me how many triangles are there? You know that how many triangles are here, how many triangles are there. You're gonna add it, we'll be getting the answer, isn't it? So let me know how many triangles are there. Is it 16? Try to understand. Total how many triangles are there? We know that here 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 triangles are there. 8 are there. But because of the merger of these two, because of these two common points, you will be getting two extra triangles. So when you are finding a merger, these two triangles are extra because of the merger of these two. So here the answer is not going to be 8 plus 8. This answer will be 8 plus 8 plus 2. 8 plus 8 plus 2. The answer is going to be what? 8 plus 8 plus 2. So these are the things when you are finding that there is a merger of any 2 points, any two common points. So you need to count these common points. You will find certain triangles which are extra, right? Now, any of these examples can be given. Now you know that here will be getting 8, here will be getting 8, here will be getting 8. 1, 2, 3, 4 plus 4. That is the answer. Now, sometimes common point will be giving one extra triangle. Sometimes common point will be giving two extra triangle. It will vary from case to case, example to example, question to question. Once you practice some question on it, you'll be easily able to find it out. So this is about triangles. Now let's talk about the number of counting of number of squares and counting of number of triangles. Are not triangles. Counting of squares and counting of rectangles. Now, for an example, now if I'm gonna give you a figure like this, can you guys tell me how many square are there? And in the similar figure, now if I'm asking how many rectangle are there, what will be the answer? Number of square and number of rectangle. Let me know the answer in the chat box. Four rectangles. So here we'll be getting three answers. Given that the number of rectangles are 4, in that case, when it is saying that only rectangles, we are not counting squares. So all the answers are correct. All the answers are completely correct. Now, in some cases, there will be getting three type of question. One is how many square are there? You know that 1, 2, 3, 4, and this bigger one is going to be a square. So how many square are there? 5. How many rectangle are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. This bigger one 5 because each and every square is also a rectangle, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, these 4 extra will be there. So 5 plus 4, 9. If I'm going to talk about only rectangle, that means we're not going to talk about a square. So here in this case, the answer is going to be what? 1, 2, this 3, and this 4. So 4 will be there. So now how to count when you are getting a complicated figure like this? So we are going to write it like this. Count the number of column count the number of rows. Last row will be multiplied by last column, will be written as like this. 2 into 2. This is 1 as it is. 1. What is the answer? 5. Now in this case, what will be doing? 1, 2, add it, will be getting 3. 1, 2, add it, will be getting 3. 3 into 3 will be giving you the answer 9. Let's understand with the another example. Number of a square, and number of rectangles. Right? Now in this case, for an example, now this figure is given. How many are there? Now in this case also, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Then after that, we are counting about the number of square. 3 into 3 will be giving you 9. 2 into 2 will be giving you 4. 1 as it is. 1 plus 4 plus 9 are the number of what? Are going to be the number of squares. You can get the answer 9, 4, 13 and 1, 14. Here also 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Add this, you'll be getting 3 and 3. This will be 6. This will be 6. 6 into 6, 36. Now you know that if you're going to count it 36 rectangle manually, this is something which is very a daunting task. Daunting task. But here in this case, if you're going to add all these number of columns, here you're going to add the number of rows and whatever addition you are getting, just multiply both. You will be getting the answer. Right? So total how many rectangles are there? 36. Total how many squares are there? 14. How many only rectangles are there? That means you are not talking about the squares. 36 minus 14. That will be the answer. So that is how we can count the number of squares, number of rectangles in a given figure. Right? Now this is about the counting of figures. Counting of rectangles you have done, triangles you have done, straight line you have done. Now let's talk about this is one part of your special aptitude. Now the second part is of mirror image and water image. Mirror image and water image. Now try to understand there are many concepts that are involved here, but this concept is completely entirely based on what? Completely and entirely based on your observation. Now for an example in your exam, just give me a second. I'll be just giving an example and this concept will be clear. Just a second. Now in the exam, if you are getting a question on the mirror image and water image, like for an example in your exam, you are getting a question like this. How this RAM will be like how the mirror image of this figure will look like. Just write it on the exam paper and rotate it, you'll be getting the answer on the back side. This is about the mirror image. Whatever given, you can write it 2-3 times. जो भी आपको एग्जाम में दिया जाता है आपको उसको 2-3 बार पेन से लिखना है. You will be finding the mirror image on the back side. That means whenever RAM is given like this and you're gonna find the mirror image of this, that means you will be doing a vertical flipping, right? So the mirror image will be looking like this. The mirror image will be what? The mirror image will be looking like this. So you just need to write it and you just need to flip it. You'll be getting the mirror image. Now, if I'm going to talk about the water image, mirror image means what? When I'm going to talk about mirror image, that means this mirror is like this. This mirror is here, right? This mirror is here. So the mirror image that will be getting will be looking like this. Now, if I'm going to talk about the water image, now your water image in this case, the mirror is here, the water is here. So here in this case, you wanna flip it like this, and this will be called as what? This will be called as the water image. Now you can practice it at home. This is about the mirror image and water image. And these questions are what? These questions are based on your observation only. Now, for an example, now I say you this physics, PHYSICS, how it will look like in the mirror, right? So you can write it and flip it, you'll be finding the exact answer. Now you know that it is looking like this. So in the figure, it will look like this. This C is open towards the mirror, this C will open towards the mirror. This I is identical on the both sides, it will be looking the same. Now S will again look like this. Then after that Y. Y is what? Y is looking like this. So here, this part image will be getting like this. And then after that, this is far from the Y will be looking like this. H is identical, H will be as it is. Then P will be looking like this. So this is how we make the mirror image. This is how we get the answer on the mirror image. Now, suppose for an example, we need to find out what will be the mirror image of this part. So you know that this line is going towards the mirror. This line will be going towards the mirror. This is a vertical line. This is a vertical line here. Now this is coming towards the mirror. This will be coming towards the mirror. So this is the mirror image of this part. This is what? Just vertically flip it. We are getting the answer. Just horizontally flipping it, we'll be getting the answer. So this is only about the mirror image and water image. I hope you guys will be able to get the answer on the same. Now let's talk about cutting folding. Cutting folding is also an complete application of your mirror image and water image. Now, for an example, what kind of question we do get in the cutting and folding? After that, in case you guys will be having any doubt, we'll be having discussion on the same. Now, for an example, in your exam paper, you are getting that there is a plain paper, right? You are going to fold it along this axis like this. You are going to fold it like this. And again, I'm going to fold this figure like this. First fold, just a second. First, I'm going to fold this figure like this. And then after that, another fold I am making like this. Right? Now, after making these fold, I am going to put some cut on it. Now, for an example, I have made a triangle like this. I'm going to make a triangle like this. It can look like this. Now, again, I'm going to cut a rectangle from it. It will be looking like this. Now, suppose in your exam paper, you are getting a question. First of all, there was a plain paper. You have folded it along two axes, and then after that, you have put certain cut on it. Now, if you are going to unfold this figure, how the unfolded figure will look like? Now, these are the type of question that we do get in the cutting and folding part. Now, you have folded it along these axes. Now, if you are going to unfold it, now if I am going to unfold this figure along this axis, you will be getting the mirror image of this part on the other side. So what we'll do is, in the exam paper, we don't have this facility. So we will make a mirror image of this part. We will make a mirror image of this part on the other side. So if I'm going to unfold it, try to check. We are getting what? We are getting the mirror image. Along what? Along this axis. I hope you are able to observe it. Now again, now this figure is looking like this. Again, I'm going to unfold it towards this axis. Again, I'm getting the mirror image of this part along this axis, right? So no matter what kind of question we are getting in the exam, for an example, this is a plain paper. I'm going to fold it along this axis, right? It will be looking like this, right? And then after that, I'm going to fold it along this axis. It will look like this. Now again, this is the final figure. Now I am putting certain cut on it. Now for an example, I have drawn this. I have drawn this, right? I have made two cut on it like this. Now the question will be saying, if you are going to unfold it, how the unfolded figure will look like. Now you know that this was the final fold. So if I'm going to unfold it along this axis, what I'll be getting? I'll be getting the mirror image along this axis. So this will be looking like this, and this will be looking like this. Again, if I'm going to unfold it, how it was folded? It was folded like this now. If I'm going to unfold it along this axis, again I'll be getting the mirror image on this part. Now I hope it is very simple to understand for you guys, right? How the unfolded figure will look like. So cutting, folding, and rotation is an complete application of mirror image and water image. Now let me know, guys, is it clear till here about the counting of figures, about this rotation and cutting, folding? Is it all clear? Is there any doubt? Is there any confusion? It's all right, no? Okay, okay. So this is about the mirror image and the water image and cutting, folding, right? There can be many other questions, but they are completely based on the observation. By using these tricks, you can solve them. Now let's talk about the another example. Like this is, I am keeping the special aptitude till here only. Right? This is the basic, this is the foundation of this special aptitude. Now let's talk about the another topic, that is clock. Now clock is also a very detailed topic. Here in this case, the first type of question that we get is related to angles. What type of question you'll be getting? In the chapter of clock, the kind of question you'll be getting is, suppose 9:10, what will be the angle between the hands of the clock? Between, suppose at a time the hands of the clock shows 11:15, what will be the angle between the hands of the clock? Right? So for a particular given time, we need to find out what is the angle between them. This is one type of question. Second type of question. Second type of question will be getting that between a time, suppose between 9 and 10, between 3 and 4, between 4 and 5, between 6 and 7. These are the type of question that we do get. How question will be framed? Between 9 to 10, at what time the hands of the clock will be making an 180-degree angle, will be making an 90-degree angle, will be making a 0-degree angle. This is the second type. Or they'll be saying at what time between 9 and 10 the hands of the clock will be in the straight line. At what time between 9 and 10 the hands of the clock will be what? Will be in the straight line or will be making an angle of 180 degree. In the second case, at what time the hands of the clock will be at the right angle? At what time the hands of the clock will overlap, will be making an angle of 0 degree और दे विल कोइंसाइड. तो इस तरीके से हमारा ये सेकेंड टाइप का क्वेश्चन है दैट वी डू गेट इन द एग्जाम विद रिगार्ड्स टू क्लॉक. देन आफ्टर थर्ड is based on loss and gain. Then after that the fourth one is there, that is based on apart. If there is any other thing, the fifth thing is also water image and mirror image. Water image and mirror image with respect to clock. Try to understand. Yeah. Now in all these kind of cases, with regard to angles, we will be using the formula theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Just by putting the values, you'll be getting the answer. Theta is equal to what? Theta is going to be equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Where theta is what? Theta is going to be the angle between the hands of the clock. Hands of the clock. And then after that, we're going to talk about h. H is r. Now, what is this r? Like for an example, I said 9 and 10. So 9 is the r. 3 and 4, 3 is the r. 4 and 5, 4 is the r. 6 and 7, 6 is the r. 11, 15, 11 is the r. 9, 10, 9 is the r. Right? So these are what? These are hours. These are what? Minutes. So any of these things will be missing. We can solve each and every question based on this formula that is called as theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Now there are many other tricks, but we are having a very limited time, so we cannot go and dive into all these territories. But with regards to this exam, at least this is something you can do. Now let's understand the example of the same. Now for an example, I say 3:15. What will be the angle between the hands of the clock? I will be using the formula theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m, right? So we know that 30h is what? Theta we are finding. What is the angle between these? So theta h is 3 minus 11 upon 2m is what? 15. Now once we're going to get the answer, by this way you'll be getting the answer, right? So if I'm going to solve it, we'll be getting 90 minus, if we're going to simplify it, we'll be getting 7.5, right? 82.5. Now once I'm going to simplify it, you will be getting 22.5, not 22.5, 7.5. 7.5. So here the answer is going to be what? 7.5 degree. The answer is going to be what? 7.5 degree. So this is about angles. How to find angles when a particular time is given? 3:15. 3:15. 90 minus 82.5. So the answer is going to be 7.5 degree. 7.5 degree is the angle between the hands of the clock. Let's take the another example. 4:20. What is the angle between the hands of the clock? Again, we'll be using the formula theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. All right. So here 30 into h is 4 minus 11 upon 2 m is what? M is minutes 20. So here we'll be getting 10. 30 into 4. 120 minus 110. The answer is going to be 10 degree. The answer is going to be 10 degrees. I hope we are clear with the angles. How to find the angle on a given time? The formula is going to be that we'll be using is theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Theta that is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Let's talk about another examples. Theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. This is how we find out the angle. Now, for an example, if I say at what time between 3 and 4, at what time between 4 and 5, at what time between 5 and 6, the hands of the clock will be making an angle of 90 degree, will be making an angle of 180 degree, will be making an angle of 0 degree. In all these cases, try to understand. We can again use the formula theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Now let's take an example of between 3 and 4. This mod is there. Between 3 and 4. Right? Theta, we are saying 0 degree. If this is 0, is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. I am saying h is 3. So keep 3 here. So you'll be getting what? Theta is 0. So you'll be getting 11 upon 2 is m is equal to 30 into 390. M is equal to 90 into 2, 180 by 11. That is the answer. Sometimes your answer will be in the fraction. Sometimes your answer will be what? In the mixed fraction. You can write it in the mixed fraction. Huh? We'll be getting 17.3 by 11, right? So that is how we can write the answer. Or sometimes answer will be given in the decimal also. So that is also correct. So this is the second type of question when theta is given 0 degree, when theta is given 90 degree, when theta is given 180 degree. So we can write it like this: theta 0, theta 90, theta 180 degree. 16.3 by 11. Just a second. We'll be getting 7, right? 7 0. Correct. 16.3 by 16. It will be 16, not 16. 16.3 by 11. Right? This is about when these theta are given. Just one thing I want to tell you: theta is equal to what? 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Right? So in all these kind of cases, you will be getting the correct answer, but you need to cross check with the, you can draw and figure. Now, for an example, if I say 11, 15, you can draw and figure like this, a dummy figure like this. This is 12, this is 3, this is 6, this is 9. You know that this 90 degree is there. This 90 degree, this will be 90 degree, this will be 90 degree, this will be 90 degree. So you know that if you are finding an angle like this, it will be less than 90 degree. If you are finding an angle like this, it will be less than 90 degree. So you can have an idea what will be this angle. You can get a range that this angle cannot be more than this angle cannot be less than this. By making an figure, by making a diagram, this is something we can know out of it. Now, you can draw a figure because sometimes in question, you will be getting answer by 30h minus 11 upon 2m. In some cases, you'll be finding your answer by 11 upon 2m minus 30h. Now, I don't want to confuse you. You can go for the both. If you're not getting answer by this method, you can go with the another one. You will interchange these two, you will be getting the answer, right? Because this formula is correct. But in some cases, because this mod is there, so sometimes 30h minus 11 upon 2 will be the correct answer. Will be giving the correct answer. Sometimes 11 upon 2m minus 30h will be giving the correct answer. But what is the trick? What is the logic? We are not having that much time, so I'm not going into that. And so the thing is that you need to check both. If in case you are not getting answer by this, you will be writing this 11 upon 2m minus 30h. Now let's talk about certain universal question that we get each and every year. Now if I'm going to ask you, just let me know, how many times the hands of the clock in 12 hours coincide? कितनी बार ऐसा होता है कि जो हमारी hands of the clock होती है 12 hours में will make an angle of 0 degree or they will overlap or they will be coinciding. The second case, in 12 hours, how many times the hands of the clock will be making an angle of 180 degree? How many times the hands of the clock in 12 hours will be making an 90 degree angle? Do let me know about it. क्या आंसर होगा पहले का? 12 घंटे में कितनी बार हमारी hands of the clock will be making an angle of 0 degree? They will coincide, they will overlap, they will making an angle of 0 degree. Are you guys able to understand this question? क्या क्वेश्चन हम समझ पाए? इलेवन, करेक्ट, करेक्ट, 11। जस्ट सेकंड। Let's talk about this. This is an clock. Now in this case, 90 degree 44 times. 90 degree 44 times. Let's see. Now here if I'm saying how many times the hands of the clock will, how many times the hands of the clock in 12 hours. ये आपके पूरे 12 hours हो गए। ये आपका क्या है? अच्छा यहाँ पे हम समझ लेते हैं कुछ चीजें। अब इससे हम सारे कॉन्सेप्ट सीख लेते। जस्ट अ सेकंड। नाउ इन दिस केस वी नो दैट total, this total angle is what? This total angle is 360 degree. This total angle is what? This total angle is 360 degree. We know that. This total angle is 360 degree. This is 360 degree. Now, this 360 degree is divided into how many parts? This 360 degree is divided into 12 equal parts. So these parts will be what? These total parts will be going to equal to 360 divided by 12. That means they are going to be equal to 30 degree, 30 degree, 30 degree, and 30 degree. I hope we know that. Now, these this 30 degree is again divided into 5 parts, right? This one, this two, this three, this four, this five. So this 30 degree is again divided into 3 parts. So this one part will be equal to 6 degree, and that is how this total is 30 degree, right? Now when I am saying that how many times the hands of the clock will be making an angle of what? Will be making an angle of 0 degree, or will be making an angle of will be making an angle of 0 degree. Let's understand that. Now exactly at 12, what will be happening? The hands of the clock, the minute hand and the hour hand will be exactly at 12, at 12 o'clock. Now between 12 and 1, they will not coincide. Between 1 and 2, you'll be finding a time when hands of the clock and minute hand and hour hand, they are overlapping. Here also they will overlap, here also they will overlap, here also, here also, here also. In all these cases, it will overlap. But between 11 to 1, they will overlap only one time. So that is why in 12 hours, the hands of the clock only overlap 11 times. I hope this logic is clear now. Because between 11 and 12, they are only coinciding one time, exactly at 12. Between 12 and 1, they are not coinciding. They have only coincided only one. So between these three, it only coincide one. So one possibility is gone. That is how the hands of the clock only coincide 11 times. This same thing applies in case of a straight line. If I'm going to talk about this straight line, try to understand that. Now here the hands of the clock, what is happening? Here the hands of the clock exactly at 6, what is happening? This is making an angle of 180 degree. This is making an angle of 180 degree. But between 7 and 6 and 7 and between 7 and 5, it is only making an angle of 180 degree one time. Now this is something you can experiment. This is something you can check on your own. Here it will be making an angle of 180 degree one time, somewhere like this, somewhere like this, somewhere like this, somewhere like this, somewhere like this. It will be making an angle of 180 degree. But exactly at 6, it is making angle between 6 and 5. It is not making an angle of 180 degree. Between 7 and 6, it is also making. Exactly at 6, it is making an angle of 180 degrees. So the answer is 11. 11, 11. Now let's talk about 90 degree. Now here in this case 90 degree. In 12 hours, what will be happening? Now general conception is that 90 degree angle is 2 times. ये क्या होता है? 2 बार बनता है. 2 बार बनता है in what? It will be 2 time. अगर मैं बात करूं आपका 1 और 2 के बीच में, तो आपका 2 बार 90 डिग्री बनेगा ना. एक बार ऐसा कुछ होगा, एक बार आपका क्या होगा, जैसे मैं बोलूँ 3 और 4 के बीच में, तो आपका एक बार कुछ ऐसा एंगल बनेगा 3 और 4 के बीच में. अगर मैं बात करूँ 90 डिग्री कितनी बार बनेगा, तो एक बार ऐसा कुछ 90 डिग्री आ रहा होगा, ऐसा ये 90 डिग्री, और एक बार आपका क्या होगा, ऐसा कुछ 90 डिग्री आएगा. सो 90 डिग्री एंगल आपका 2 बार बनता है. लेकिन ध्यान से समझना आप, यहां पर अगर आप देखोगे एग्जैक्टली एट 3, एग्जैक्टली एट 9, ये क्या है, ये यहां पर एक बार बनता है. आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इट. अच्छा, इससे पहले 11 11 समझ आया क्या? Have you got the 11 11? How we got 11 11 in the previous one? I'm not able to understand. All right. Question is, how many times the hands of the clock will be making and will be overlapping? कितनी बार ऐसा होगा that hands of the clock will overlap? So between 12 and general conception is that we tempted to be marking it as 12 times, but it only overlap 11 times. Try to understand how many times the hands of the clock will overlap in 12 hours. So the answer is going to be 11, not 12. Why it is 11? Try to understand. If I am saying between 12 and 1, it will overlap. It will overlap. Between 1 and 2, it will overlap. Between 2 and 3, it will overlap. Overlapping means what? Overlapping means, just a second. Overlapping means they will be making an angle of 0 degree. Just try to understand. Between 12 and 1, between 1 and 2, there will be a time when minute hand and hour hand will overlap. They will be somewhere like this. Between 2 and 3, there will be a time when the hands of the clock will overlap. Between 3 and 4, there will be a time when they will overlap. Between 4 and 5, there will be a time when they will overlap. Right? So they are asking how many times they will overlap in the 12 hours. So the answer, we think that 12 hours, 12 times. But this is not it. Because we think that between 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, 4 and 5, 1 time. But this is not it. Because exactly at 12, this is already what? This is already 0 degree. So between 12 and 1, it will not overlap. Between 11 and 1, it will not overlap. Between these two, it will overlap only 1 time. So the answer is 11 times. You can memorize the answer. These are very popular type of question, right? Okay. Now I am keeping this concept till here only. In case you'll be having got this one. And this similar concept goes in the another one also. If I'm going to talk about the 180 degree. 180 degree also between 12 and 1. You know that there will be a time when the minute hand and hour hand will be like this. At a time between 3 and 9, there will be a time when hands of the clock will be like this. Between 4 and 5, there will be a time like this. There will be a time like this when the hands, minute hand and hour hand will be making an angle of 180 degree. So in that case, if it asks how many times it will be happening, it will be happening only 11 times. Now if I'm going to talk about 90 degree, 90 degree in 12 hours was supposed to be 24 times, but it is only 22 times, not 24 times. And what is the reason behind that? Exactly at 3, it is already 90 degree. Exactly at 9, it is already 90 degree. So one possibility is gone from there, one possibility gone from here. Let me quickly summarize it. What we have done. 12 hours. In 12 hours, how many times the hands of the clock will overlap? How many times the hands of the clock will overlap? 11 times. In 12 hours, how many times the hands of the clock will be making an angle of 0 degree, 180 degree? 11 times. In 12 hours, 90 degree, 22 times. Now if I say 12 hours, what will be happening in 24 hours? 24 hours. It will be 22, it will be 22, it will be 44. So any of these things can be asked with respect to your clock. Let's talk about another case. This is one type. You just keep this formula in mind. Theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. Theta is angle. This is r. This is minute. Right? And this is 1, 2, 3. These are some universal question that we get in each and every exam. If I'm going to talk about CUET, then after that your CLAT, then after that your NATA, then after that GATE exam. Each and every exam we are getting these kind of questions. So this is something they are based on the observation. Now let's talk about the another examples. Let's talk about the another examples. Now what are these? Now let's talk about the water image and mirror image with respect to clock. Try to understand water image. 1830 mirror image. You can write these down. ये आप इनको नोट कर सकते हो और after the class you can note these down. Mirror image 1160. Now this is what? Now if I am saying, if in question they are asking about the mirror image. Now for an example, the time that is given here is 9:45. What will be the mirror image of the 9:45 time? If clock at a time shows 9:45, what will be the mirror image? Right? So we will subtract these two. I will subtract 9:45 from 1160 and will be getting the answer. I will subtract 9:45 from 1160, will be getting the answer. I will subtract 9:45 from 1160, I'll be getting the answer. That is how we find the mirror image for any given time. For any given time. Now, for an example, this is with respect to 9 is given, 8 is given, 7 is given, 6 is given, 5 is given. This formula applicable. Now, for an example, you get 12:45. Now, how will we getting the mirror image at 12:45? Because this is 11 only. So, for 12:45, for 12:10, 12:15, 12:20, in the normal case scenario, we will take this 1160. Subtract any time from 1160, you'll be getting the answer. Now, if you are not getting answer from it, if your answer is more than 11, for an example, 12:15, 12:20, 12:30. So in that case, you will subtract the fraction by 2360. 2360. Whatever time is given, subtract it from it, you'll be getting. You guys are already aware of why I'm putting so much energy on it. All right, great, great. Now let's talk about the water image. In case they are asking about the water image, whatever time is given, you just subtract it from 1830. You just subtract it from 1830, you will be getting the answer. Now we can do that. 1830, we can subtract it. For an example, if I say 615, I know that how to subtract it. 18 minus 6, 12. This will be 15. 12, 15 will be the answer. But what if the minutes that we are getting are more than 30? For an example, I say 645, 445, 455. How will we getting the mirror image in that case? We will take carry 1. Try to understand. You can note these down. These fractions, you can note it down. How will we finding the water image in this case? Water image in such a case will be finding whatever time is given. I will subtract it from 1830. If the minutes are more than 30, I will take carry 1 from here. Now this is R. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So it will give 160 minute here. So either you get answer by subtracting from 1830 or you'll be getting answer by subtracting from 1790. Now where this 1790 is coming from? I have taken 1 hour carry from this side. So 1 hour will be giving 60 minutes on this side. So this is 90, this is 1790. So this is with respect to water image. This is with respect to mirror image. I'm going to summarize it on the another part. What I'm saying is how to find mirror image subtracting from the 1160, subtracted from the 2360. How we find it is about the mirror image. Now I'm talking about water image. How we find it out? Subtracting from the 1830, subtracted from the 1790. This is about it. I hope this is clear now. This is how we find out the mirror image and the water image in case of a clock. Is it clear? It's clear, no? All right. All right. So this is about mirror image and water image. Now you can revise all those things in the 51-day course. They are completely covered in the similar manner. Mirror image, water image. Now there is one more type of question that is apart, that is based on apart. Now what do we mean by that? At what time between 3 and 4? At what time between 3 and 4, the hands of the clock will be 24-degree apart, not 24-degree apart. For an example, this is very simple. They are asking between 3 and 4. At what time the hands of the clock will be 6 minutes apart? We think that these questions are very tough. Try to understand. Question says between 3 to 4 o'clock, at what time the hands of the clock will be 6 minutes apart. Now we know that 1 minute space in clock. This 1 minute space is what? This 1 minute space is 6 degree. 2 minute space is another 6 degree, another 6 degree. So we know that 6 minute space means what? 6 minute space means 6 into 6. Will it be giving 36 degree? At what time between 3 to 4 the hands of the clock will be making will be 6 minutes apart. 6 minutes apart means in 1 minute the space is 6 degree. So 6 minutes 36 degree. So the question says at what time between 3 and 4 the hands of the clock will be making an angle of 36 degree. So theta is equal to 30h minus 11 upon 2m. So here 30 into h is given 3 minus 11 upon 2m, and that is how you'll be getting the answer. Are you able to understand this type? Between 3 and 4 the hands of the clock will be 6 minutes apart. 6 minutes apart means we will be finding the angle for the same and we'll be getting the answer. Chalo. Now we are done with the clock. Now let's talk about order and ranking. Order and ranking. The third part. Order and ranking. Now what type of question we do get in this part? There are 4 to 5 types. We'll be talking about that. Now let's talk about, there is one such example is given. Total there are 50 people who are sitting in a row. Total how many people are there? 50. And Ram is sitting at the 19th position from the left end. Ram is at the 19th position from the left end. Can you guys tell me what is the position from the right end of the Ram? क्या हम राम की पोजीशन राइट एंड से बता सकते हैं? Ram is sitting at the 19th position from the left. What is his position from the right if the total people who are there are 50? कितना आंसर आएगा? Will it be 30? Will it be 31? Will it be 32? Half an hour. So the answer here is going to be what? See, in all these kind of cases, how to find the answer? Now you know that total 50 people are there. Total 50 people are there. If I am going to subtract 19, if I am going to subtract 19, I will be finding that how many people are there who are sitting towards his right, isn't it? If I am going to subtract 19 from 50, I'll be getting how many people are sitting towards his right. Correct? Because 19th, this Ram is also subtracted from it. So how many people sitting towards his right we have found out? Total how many people are sitting towards his right? If I'm going to subtract 19, how many are there? 31 people will be there. 31 and 19 will be giving you 50. So total how many people are there? 31. So if 31 people are sitting towards right, at what position from the right end is sitting? 32, isn't it? 32 is the answer, not 30. Try to understand with the another example. Suppose I say in a row total 40 people are there and Ram is sitting at 21st position from the left end. What is his position from the right? Now how to write it? 40 minus 21 plus 1. Now why this plus 1 is there? When I subtracted 21 from 40, all these are subtracted. Now how many people are sitting towards right we have counted? But this is what? How many people sitting towards his right is counted. But at what position he is from right end? Plus 1. Because if 50 people are there towards his right, he is at the 51st position. If total 60 people are there towards his right, he is at the 61st position. Right? Got it? This is the first type. Now let's take the another example. Now if I say in a row, Ram is sitting at the 19th position from the left end. Ram is sitting at the 19th position from the left end. And he is sitting at the 16th position. Not 16th, 21st position from the right end. 19th left, 21st right. Can you guys tell me how many total people are there who are sitting in that row? Total how many people are there? Ram is sitting at the 19th. From that side, 21st. What will be the answer? Correct. Correct. Now, in that case, how we count that? Now, from this side, if I'm going to count, including Ram, how many people are there? 19. From this side, I'm counting 21 people are there, including Ram. Now, Ram is being counted two times. I have subtracted one time. So, 19 plus 20 will be giving you what? 19 plus 20 will be giving you 39. So, 39 will be the answer. 39 will be the answer, right? 39 will be the answer. So these questions are based on common sense, but if you practice more and more on these, you will be easily able to get the answer. Like you will not invest much time on it. Let's talk about the another example. Now sometimes it says Ram is sitting, total 40 people are there. Try to understand. Ram is sitting at the 15th position from the left. Ram is sitting at the 15th position from the left. Syam is sitting at the 16th position. Not 16th, for an example, 20th. 20th position from the left, from the right. They will be asking how many people are there who are sitting between them. Can you tell me? This is 20th. This is Syam. Total how many people are there? Total 40 are there. Ram is at the 15th. He is at the 20th. How many people are there who are sitting between them? How many people are there who are sitting between them? This is the discussion on order and ranking. Five are there. You know that if I'm going to subtract from 40, if I'm going to subtract 15, including Ram, all are subtracted. If I'm going to subtract these 20, including Syam, all are subtracted, right? So 20 or 15, 35, 40 minus 35, total 5 people are there. And that is how you'll be finding that 5 people are there, these 15 and these 20, and that is how total 40 is there. That is one example. I think that is very simple. We will subtract 40 from this, and we got the answer. Now, what can be the other example on it? Try to understand. Now, it is a row. Total, how many people are there? 40. Now, what I say is Ram is sitting at the 20th position. Ram is sitting at the 20th position from the left in, and Syam is sitting at the 20th. Syam is sitting at the, for an example, I am making a dummy figure. It can be correct, it cannot be correct. Ram is sitting at the 25th position. 25th position from the right. How many people are there between them? Try to understand. Is it even possible? No, 4 is not the right answer. 2025 will be 45. 4 is not the correct answer. This is a case of overlap. Right? Try to understand. Ram is at the 20th position from the left in. He is at the 25th. Total is going to be what? Total is going to be 45. But there are total 40 people. Total only 40 people are there. Right? 4 is not the answer. 4 is not the answer. Try to understand. This is a case of overlapping. Have you guys done these questions before? This is a question. This is a question on overlapping. This is called overlapping. This case is not possible in such a way. Total 40 people are there. If I'm going to add this 20, 25, this will be giving 45. Total 40 people are there only. Right? So total 40 people are there. So this figure will not be made like this. This figure will be looking like this. Ram is there. At what position? 20th. Syam is there. At what position? 25th. Syam is there. How many people are between them? This is what we are finding out. 5 is not the answer. Let's understand. Nah? Let's understand. Then I'll tell you a trick. If you remember the trick, you'll be getting answer within second. In this case, total how many people are there? 40. Total how many people are there? 40. 40 are there. In general case, in the previous question, what we have done? We have subtracted the total number from this. Here also we'll do the same. Here also we'll do the same. Add this and this. What we are getting? 45. What we are getting? 40. Subtract these two, we are getting 5. But 5 is not the answer. 5 are those people. Why we are getting it as extra? Because they are the people who are being counted two times. That is why it is getting extra. These are those people who are counted two times. So 5 people are there who are counted two times. That is why we are getting extra 5. Out of that, you know that How many people are there who are between them? So he is counted extra. He is also counted extra because when you are counting from this side to this, he was counted. When you counted from this side to this, he was again counted. Try to understand. When you are counting from this side, he was counted. When you are counting from this side, this was also counted again. So in this case, try to understand the answer will be difference minus 2. Whenever, whenever you are finding a question or overlapping, what you will do? Subtract like we did in the previous one, minus 2. Just do extra minus 2 because in overlapping, these people are counted 2 times. We only need to count those people who are counted extra between them. That is how we get the answer. Here, if you are getting 7, 7 minus 2, because these people are counted, we don't need to count these people. Now, let me know how many of you are able to understand the order and ranking. We have done your special aptitude. We have done your questions on the counting of figures and all of that. And then after that, you clock. And now this is about order and ranking. Is it clear to all of you? It's clear, na? You can revise. You can revise from the video in case if there is any confusion on it. This is about order and ranking. Then after that, there is one more topic called as coding and decoding. Coding and decoding and sequence and series, right? Coding and decoding, sequence and series. They are interrelated. Try to understand. When I'm saying coding and decoding, any of the pattern can be given with respect to coding and decoding. For an example, if I say RAM in a certain code language is coded as 18113. So how in the similar code language, PA pat will be coded. For an example, in a code language, RAM is coded as 18113. How pat will be coded? So this is coding and decoding. For being efficient in coding and decoding, the only thing that you can do is remember the place values of the all the given numbers, right? You know that R is at the 18th place in the alphabets. A is at the first place in the alphabet. M is at the 13th place at the alphabet. So P is at the 16th place on the alphabet. A is at the first place on the alphabet. T is at the 20th. So here this pattern is being followed. This pattern is being followed. P is 16, A is 1, T is 20. Correct? Correct. Now, any of this combination can be there. In some cases, you'll be finding from this part to this part, plus 1 is there, plus 1 is there, plus 1 is there. So you can do the same with the option, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. You can do all of that if you are aware about the alphabetical values. If you are aware of the place values of the alphabets. If you are able to do that, it will be very easy for us to solve question like this. Right? It will be very easy for us to solve question like this. This is about coding decoding. What other examples can be there? Now, for an example, I say ENJOY. Try to understand. This is 2. This is 14. This is 10. And then after that, this is 4. And this is 25. Now, in this similar code language, how Apple will be coded? Now, this is a question on again coding and decoding. What kind of patterns can be there? Now, can you guys let me know the answer on the same? Enjoy in a certain code language is coded as 2, 14, 10, 4, 25. How in the similar code language Apple will be coded as? P value should be 5. No, this is correct. See, try to understand. Sometimes you'll be finding that your place values for consonants are given differently, place values for the vowels given differently. How they are doing that? A, E, I, O, U. These are what? These are vowels. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Try to understand that. You are finding different values for vowels. We need to be having that kind of observation. Now here E is at 2, O is at 4. So they have given the place values for vowel differently. N is at 14, J is at 10, Y is at 25. So here also A is at 1, P is at 16, P is at 16, L is at 12, but E is what? E is at 2. Like this, we could have done it. We could have done it. 1, 16, 16, 12, and 2. So these are what? We need to think this way also. That sometimes this can be that this can be asked in the question also. Sometimes plus 1, plus 2, plus 3, plus 4, plus 1, minus 2, plus 1, minus 2, plus 1, minus 2, or plus 1, plus 3, plus 5, plus like this can be given. Na? Alternate manner. Things can be given. So I'm not going into that territory. This is something you can practice on your own. I'm just giving you an idea in what number of ways question can be framed. Now let's talk about another example. Suppose I'm saying TACOS. Now try to understand. 2, 1, 3, 6, 1. Now tacos in a certain code language is coded as this. How in the similar code language bell will be coded? Now this is an extreme case scenario. Try to understand. Here you know that again just by writing the place values you will be getting the answer. What I'm saying is whenever you are doing the question on 2533 25, correct, you got the pattern. Sometimes you just write the place values 20 1 3 15 19. Here what they have given, instead of 20 they have given 2, 1 is given as it is, 3 is given as it is. Instead of 15 they have given 5 plus 1 6. Instead of 20 they have given 2 plus 0 2. Instead of 19 they have given 9 plus 1 10, 10 plus 1 0. So here also 2 will be as it is, 5 will be as it is, L will be 12. Instead of they have given 3 and 3 like this. So sometimes digital sum of the unit can be given in the questions also. So we need to think these many ways while we are applying the questions on the coding and decoding, and there is no limit to it. There can be any kind of question. We can take the class of 6 to 7 hours only on it. So this is something you can practice on your own. The more number of questions you will practice, you'll be getting clarity on this part. Just you need to think, keep in mind, you need to remember the place values of all the given alphabets, place values. Then after that, reverse place values of the alphabets, reverse place values. Now you don't need to remember it differently. If you know the place values only, subtract any place value from 27, you'll be getting the reverse place values. Subtract anything from the 27. If you know the place value, subtract it from 27, you'll be getting the answer. This is with respect to place values and reverse place values. I think this is sufficient for the coding and decoding. In this limited time period, we can only talk like this. Now let me know, is it clear to all of you? Now I'm going to talk about the last part, that is cubes. What kind of question we get in the cubes? All right, all right. Now what kind of question we get in the cube? Try to understand. Cubes. Now suppose this is a cube that is being given in the exam. This is a cube that is given in the exam. Now it says, for an example, this cube is divided into 3 parts. This cube is divided into 3 parts. For an example, like this, right? Like this. Then after that, like this, like this. I'm not able to draw it. Oh, it's horrible. Suppose, I hope you are able to understand. This is how a cube is given in the exam. Now, suppose this is a figure that is given. Now, I am going to paint this complete figure. If I am going to paint this complete figure, now I have divided these figures into 3 parts. Now, I have drawn 3 lines, 1, 2, 3. These can be 5, these can be 7, these can be 9, these can be 12. Any of these things can be there. Now, try to understand how many type of questions are there. Now, suppose it says cubes with one color. Now, this is a cube, right? I have divided into 3 parts. Now, I am going to paint the complete figure. I am going to paint the complete figure. Now, what type of question can be there? Cube with one color. Cube with one color painted. Then after that, cube with 2 color painted. Cube with three color painted. Cube with not three color painted. Okay. Cube with one side painted. Cube with one side painted. I'll be explaining all of that. Cube with one side painted. Cube with two side painted. Cube with three side painted. Cube with no side painted. Is there any other thing? Cube with no side painted. Total number of cubes. Total number of cubes. Now try to understand. I have divided into three parts. So let's take n is equal to 3. If n is equal to 3, try to understand. We can find it out all these things with a formula. We can find out all these things with a formula, and that formula is what? You can note that down. Cube with one color painted will be 6x minus 2 whole square. I'll be explaining all of that, where it is coming from. Then after that, cubes with two color painted is going to be 12x minus 2. Cubes with no color painted, x minus 2 to the power cube. Then after that, if I talk about cube with, this was three color painted, three side painted, na? No side painted it was. Three side painted, the answer is always and always it will be 8, no matter how many parts it is divided into. Then after that, no color painted. Cube with no side painted is going to be x minus 2 cube. And then after that, this is going to be x cube. Let me explain all of that. What I am saying. Now, this is the cube. These are the only type of question that we do get on it. Now, this is a cube. For an example, I am going to cut into three equal parts. Now, I am going to paint the complete cube. Now, if I am going to, dismantle the cube. So, how many cube will be there which is having one side painted? Now, you know that this cube will be one side painted because here this upper surface will be painted. No other surface will be painted. Here this cube is there. 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 This side, this cube, and this cube is there. So cube with one side painted, how we can find out? Here in this case, three parts it is divided into. The answer is 6 only. How many surfaces are there in a cube? This 1 is there, 2 is there, this 3 is there, this 4 is there, this 5 is there, this 6 is there. So in such a case, the answer is that cube with one side painted, the answer is going to be 6 only. The answer is going to be 6. One side painted, the answer will be what? The answer is going to be 6 only, because you know that here one part is in the middle, that is painted. This one part is painted. This one part, this one part, this one part, this one part is painted. Only one side painted. Right? If I'm going to talk about this figure, here two sides are painted. Here two sides are painted. Right? So if I'm going to talk about these cubes, two sides are painted. So if I'm going to talk about two side painted cube, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are there on one. So total how many are there? 12. If it is divided into three parts, 3 minus 2 into 12. So 12 is the answer. Total number of cube that will be there which are having two side painted, the answer will be 12. Total number of cube with three side painted, the answer is always 8, because cubes on the vertex will be always having three side painted. So no matter how many parts cube divided into, it will be only having three side painted, not three, 8 side painted, three sides. Three side painted cube will be 8. Right? No matter how many parts it is divided, only the cube on vertex, this side will be painted, this side will be painted, this side will be painted. With respect to cube which is having no side painted, so we need to find out those cubes which are not having the upper layer, because upper layer any of the surface will be painted. So the cube in the inner layer we need to count. So x minus 2 to the whole cube, 3 minus 2 to the power 3 will be giving the answer as 1. So only one cube will be there which is in between. So that is how we'll be finding no cube painted. Total number of cubes if you need to find out, total number of cube will be x cube. 3 to the power 3. Total 27 cube are there. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I'm going to dismantle it all. So these are the type of question that we do get in cubes. What kind of questions are there in cube? That is how we count. One side painted, two side painted, three side painted, no side painted, and then after that, how many? Now, total number of cube with no side painted, or total number of cube on the inner surface, not on the outer surface. Inner surface, this is also same, inner surface. तो इनर सरफेस पे क्यूब होंगे वही तो नॉन पेंटेड होंगे. So that is how we find the answer. This is the summary of the cubes. Now this topic is complete from my side. Although if I'm talking about QNLR, there is never an end to these topics. You know, each and every topic can take additional 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours. There is no limit to it. So I have tried to cover in the exam oriented manner what are the things that we should keep in mind. Now, in case you guys are having any doubts with respect to all these concepts, you can let me know and we can discuss that. Or else we can wind up this class right here. Is it all clear? Can we wind up the class? 1 minute. Okay. All right. Was it helpful? If there is any doubt, do let me know and we can discuss that. Most uncovering area related question. Like area of what? Area of trapezium, parallelogram, like that. Figure was given and a part of it was colored. And we need to find out the area of that colored part. So we can find that out. Now we have covered the area. In these kind of question, you can find the length and breadth, and accordingly we can find out the area, what kind of shape they are making. You have done mensuration, na? So you once apply this cube with mensuration, you will be able to find the answer. So sometimes in the stars, you are talking about the questions that are being asked on the stars. Okay. Is there any other question that you want me to answer?